thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable La La Land Crafts image called Marci with Lollipop. Isn't she cute? Don't you just love these little curly ponytails up here? Love those. I've also used a couple of new dies on our card today. This is the new Flower Elements border set. It comes with this border and then a little outline piece that I didn't use and then some flowers too. And then this one is called Two Leaves. Very cute. And the cutting part in here is actually dimensional. It goes all the way through, so it makes it look really cool. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies that I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, make sure to leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So we're going to start out by giving our image a quick outline with C0. And let's go ahead and start down here. I'm just going to go between her shoes and then do quickly around the inside of her legs. And this will give it a little bit of dimension and make it look like it's not quite so flat. And then we're going to go around her shoe and up this way. And we just want to go all the way around and back over to the other side. And I'm not really concerned about how wide it is. I just kind of let the pen do its own thing. And then I like to do it first because after I color it, it never fails. I tend to touch my coloring and get it smeared out into my background. So this way, if I do it first, I don't have to worry about that. And if I get any on my girl or my image, I can just erase it with my colorless blender if I so desire. I don't usually, because it's so light you can hardly see it. So I usually just leave it on there. And we'll go back around over here. And we're going to go around our little arm and our lollipop. These lollipops are good in theory, but that huge lollipop, that would take you forever and a huge mess to eat. I can't imagine giving either of my granddaughters that. It would just be a disaster area. Now let's work on our skin. For that, we're going to use E11, 21, 00, 000, and then I'm going to add a touch of E13. And for her cheeks, I'm going to use R02, 12, and 11. I'm going to start with my E11 down here on her legs. So let's do that right along the edge of her pants. This, and along the back. Her shoe. Same for this side. Let's do her pant leg. Or right next to her pant leg, and then the back of her leg. And then I'm going to go with E21 next. And I want to touch down on top of my E11. And we're just going to flick out this way just a little bit. Same for this side. Go over that edge, and then flick. And then I'm going to follow up with E00. I like to go over my previous colors, and since it's down here, I'm going to go ahead and fill all the way in. I'm not going to worry about the last color. That, and then I'm going to add a dash of my E13. So I want to do just a really thin line down the back of her leg, and I'm going to kind of go a little bit in here where her ankle is, and then along her shoe. And we'll do a little dab up here underneath of her pant leg. And then same for this one. Let's go right along her pant leg. And we'll do next to that little V she's got there in her pants. Along her shoe. And then again, let's do a little bit here for her ankle. And then I didn't blend that. I just left it like that. Let's go up here and we'll do her arms. So again, let's start with our E11. Oops, I put my pins in the wrong order. So I'm going to grab E11, and we're going to use that to go right along her sleeve. And I'm going to go down her arm. And let's do a little dab here on her fingers. And then for this side, we're going to go along the top. And let's go, since her head's kind of tipped that way a little bit, let's go down the inside of that strap on her shirt. And then for this arm, let's do this strap, and along the bottom of her arm, do a little bit in the crease of her arm there. And then I'm going to do a little dab on each finger. And then I'm going to grab E21. And we want to touch down on top of our E11. And we're going to flick out here into our white. Go right along the edge. And go a little bit more up here. And then let's do her neck. And I think I'll bring a little bit in from this side. A little bit on this fingers. And then we'll add a little bit of our E00. Bring this up close to the edge of her arm. And I like to go over the colors I already put down, kind of smushes them together. And for this side, let's do close to our edge of her arm. And then I'm going to go for the entire thing with my E00. So I'm going to go ahead and go down this way so I don't accidentally flick right out on top of the outline there. Yeah, don't worry about that in here. And then again, be careful going along the edge. And then just add a little bit more contrast. I'm going to again take my E13. And I'm going to do a little bit of that over here. So I want to do a really skinny line right next to her sleeve, or her strap of her sleeve. And then we're going to go down. And she's got her elbow right here, so let's go in a little bit. And we'll go down this way, and we'll do a little bit there for her wrist, like that. And then I'm going to do a little dab underneath of her neck. And down this side of her strap. And over here, like this. Maybe do a little bit more over here. That. And I think I'll soften that just a little bit. So I'm going to grab my E00. And I'm just going to go over the edge of this, just a tiny dab, just to soften this side a little bit. I got a little wide with my line there. Got a little crazy. And this side, I'm liking that side, so I'm going to leave that. Alright, so let's go up here and do our face. So again, we're going to start with our E11. And I want to start over here by her ear. So I'm going to go right next to her top of her bangs. I'm going to go in between each one of these cute little curly cues. Go down the side to the other side to her ear. And this side's kind of tipped down a little bit, so I'm going to do a little bit here along her jaw. And then I'm going to grab E21. And I want to soften that and bring it all the way around. So I'm going to start here where I left off with my E11. And come with my E21 around to the other side. And we'll have to do our ear here, and I'll do those last. But we're going to flick right away from the top here. And I'll bring this out. And then I'm going to add some E00. And go around these little curly cues for her bangs. And so I'm going to color them brown. I got a little bit on there. I'm not going to worry about that because we're going to color them a brown color to probably cover that right up. Okay, and then let's add a little bit of E00. And let's do our ears real quick. So again, I'm going to start with my E11. Let's do a little bit on the inside and a little bit on the inside of this one. And then we're going to add a touch of E21. then E double zero. And then our E triple zero. And then we're going to add some cheek color, so let's grab R02. And I like to do right next to the edge here. And a little bit over here. And then we'll add some R12. And then a little dab of our R11. Okay, and then we're going to go with our E21. And then E double zero. I want to do this side too, so let's go over here and we'll brush right over the top of that cheek and bring that color out. And let's go ahead and just soften this up here a little bit more. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Go right over that cheek. And then I'm going to add E triple zero across the entire thing. And since I didn't color in the center here all the way, that will fill that in. And I accidentally went over her pupil there, so I'll go later with my colorless blender and erase that. Okay, I forgot, I've got to go ahead and add my E13, so let's grab that. And I just want to do a thin line up here where we put our E11 the first time. So let's go, I'm going to try to do just a skinny line right next to her hair, the top here where it's touching. For her lips, let's give them a little touch of R21 and R20. So I'm going to do a little dab of R21 on the outside. This side. And I left this little space in between her lips white. And then let's do a little dab on each side of this. And then I filled it in with my R20. And then just to make it a little bit darker, I think I'll do another second dab of my R21. And then leave them like that. For her hair, let's use E23, 31, 41, and 25. And I'm going to start with my E23. And let's do... let's start up here from this ponytail. So for my ponytail, I'm going to flick down away and try to keep my little flicks going in the direction the hair is going. So it's kind of curved down here, so I tried to make them curve around. And I'm trying not to color her little ponytail wrapper. And work our way to the other side. And then I also want to do away from her face, so I'm going to go this way. Work our way up to the top. Do a little line here so I can just brush off of that. I guess it doesn't really matter since I'm going to flick the other side next. Okay, like that. And then let's do these little curly cues. For that, let's do each one of these top sections and maybe where it curls around a little bit. Then we're going to add E31. So we're just going to do the same thing. So let's start up here. Work our way up to the top. And then we'll fill that in with our E41. And you can leave some white streaks in there too. Just going to flick right along the top here and work my way back down. And I'm going to grab E31 again and do my little curly cues here. So let's add a little bit to each of those. And then let's fill them in with our E41. And then let's do the same thing to the other side. So again, we're going to start with our E23. And I want to go away from my little pigtail up here. And then we want to go away from the bottom. And we'll work our way over to the other side. And then again for the little curly cues, we'll add a little dab here at the top and the curl. And then we're going to add E31. So same thing as the other side, we're just going to brush some of that on. And work our way across. And then add some of your little curls. And then we'll add E41. So let's just go right here. And flick over that center section and fill in your curly cues. Okay, now for the pom-poms, we're going to again start with E23. And for this, I kind of did like a little half circle on her hair. So let's start, I didn't put as many out here, so I kind of went and did little swirls. Let's do a few down here. Little curls in here. That. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And so let's see here. Let's start over here. And we'll do a few up in this way. And maybe a few more down in the bottom. Then we're going to add E31. Same thing. I'm just going to go back in here and swirl around in my pen, make little curlicues. And the same for this side. And then we'll use our E41 to add some of that color in. Try to get some of these spaces I missed. And then we'll do the same over here. Maybe a little bit right here. Okay, then I add my E25. So I'm going to add that more towards the bottom here. So let's do... I'm trying to use just the tip of my pen. Let's get a little closer to this hair bow. And then add a few up here. Maybe a little bit more over here. Okay, and then we'll add some to this one. So again, start down here at the bottom, close to the hair bow. And then work your way out. And then we're going to add a little bit of dark to each of our little stripes here. I'm just going out a little bit, not quite as far as the E23 was. I'm trying to keep it more contained to the back. And we'll do a little bit coming out this way. Let's do a little dab down the center here. And I also want to do a little bit on my curly cues. Let's do a little dab of those at the bottom and each one of these little curls. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to add a little dab here at the back. Come back up. And then a little bit to each of these little curls. I think I will take my E23 and just add a little bit, a few streaks in here to this hair up here too. Just to make it look a little bit streakier, not quite so botched in here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. It just needs a little bit more color, I think. And I'm trying to keep my pen more straight up and down so that it will make little pointy streaks. Next, we're going to do her hairbands, her pants, the little top of her shoe, and one of the swirls for the lollipop. For that, we're going to use BG 15, 34, and 11. I'm going to start with my BG 15. Let's start up here at our hair bows. Give each side a little dab of color. Then we'll add a little dab of BG34. And then we're going to go over the whole thing with BG11. Let's hop down here and do our pants next. So again, I'm going to start with my BG15. Turn it a little bit here. I'm going to go right along the edge of her pant leg. And then I want to flick in on each side. And then again, right next to her pant leg, or where her shirt is, at her pant leg. And then we'll add some BG34. And then BG11. And brush on this side. Brush it a couple more times here. It's still looking a little blotchy. And then later, I went in with my Sharpie weight paint pen and I added some dots to that, my little pants. Okay, for the shoes, we're going to do this little top part. So I'm going to grab, again, my BG15. Let's do a little dab on this side and a little dab on this side. And then we'll go with BG34. And then BG11 to fill it in. And then our little lollipop. So you can pick whatever swirl you want. I'm going to pick this back one. So we're going to start with our BG15. And let's see, am I following around so I don't completely mess it up? I'm going to do my BG15 around in a circle like this and back up here to the top. And then I'll go with BG34. So same thing, I'm just going to go right over the top, add a little bit more of that color in, maybe widen it right here. And then BG11 to fill it in. Oops, I got a little bit on the next stripe, but that'll be okay because we're going to make that one red. So we'll cover that right up. For our little shirt here, let's use YR02, E93, YR61, and R01. So I'm going to start with my YR02, and I'm going to add a little bit of that along the ruffle here. So let's just go up here. Right along the bottom there, and then up here, do a little dab along the bottom of this section, and then for her dress or her top, let's do the straps, and let's do right along this section, and then we're going to do a little bit coming down like that. Then we're going to add E93. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of that. And then up here we'll do And then for the ruffle, add some more along this edge. And same for this one. Not being too tidy with that. Just swirling it on. Then I'm going to go with YR61. Go ahead and fill these little straps in. I don't got much room left there. Let's add a little bit to this. Leave a little bit of white up there for our last color. And then for our skirt, we're just going to, or the bottom of our shirt, let's brush this. Like that. And then for the bottom down here, let's kind of dip down into each one of these little grooves. You could make them a little ruffly. You could make the tops of each bump the lightest. I didn't do that. I just decided today that I would just color it in. And then we'll fill in the rest with our R01. Let's go ahead and do this ruffles. And I kind of go over the entire section, kind of help smush all the colors together. And then for the skirt here, again, we're just going to brush. I think I got it all. A little section over here. Let's do this little, let's go up. So I missed a little section right here. And then I gave it a little bit more contrast. So I went back with my YR02 and I added some of these streaks back in. Like that. Then we'll hop down here and we'll do her shoes. So again, I'm going to go with my YR02 first. And let's just do the back and then a little line along her shoestring, both sides. And I'm going to do the back of this one. And then we'll add E93. Get a little bit more over here. And then we'll add YR61. And then we'll fill it in with our R01. And then let's add an orange swirl to our pops, or to our lollipop. So again, let's start with R02. And I'm going to do this next one right here. So I'm going to go right along the edge, my green, and bring it over here like that. And then I'll add our E93, sorry. And then YR61. And then R01. Let's hop down here and finish your shoes. For that, we're going to use C5, 3, and 1. I'm going to start with my C5. And then we'll little touch of our C3. And then I'm going to fill it in with C1. So that leaves us with the last swirl on our lollipop and the stick. So let's do the stick really quick. I'm going to use W2, and I just want to go underneath of the handle here and then along this bottom side, and then I'm going to leave this section up here white. Not too tricky on that. And then for the last swirl on the lollipop, we're going to use R4635 and then RV14. So I'm going to start with my R46. And let's see here. Let's do, I'm going to try to be very careful because red is not my friend. And I tend to get it on everything. And you can't erase it. Go around like this. I think I'll bring this color down here onto the bottom too. Let's bring this clear around. Like that. And then we'll add R35. Bring that around. And then I want to fill it in with my RV14. Turn it this way a little bit so I can hopefully not color the green. Oh, very red. So there is our beautiful Marci with the lollipop all colored up. Didn't she turn out cute? And then, let's see here. Here's again my finished card, and so I added some Stickle Stardust to my little lollipop here. And this time I didn't put any stickles or any spick of glitter pen in her hair. It's just all plain. I should have put some in there. So just this cute little sparkles here. So everything on this card today is flat. It's not popped up. I used some liquid glue to attach this flower border and all these flowers and leaves and the little tag here with the sentiment. And this stamp also comes with the sentiment and another one. I can't remember what it says, but there's 2 sentiments with this cute little girl here. So you get 2. And I don't think the second one will fit on this tag. I think it was a little too large. That's why I picked the Sweet Things one. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. Again, if you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.